The story takes place in a picturesque world nestled in the high, serene mountains, where the beauty of nature stretches out as far as the eye can see. It follows the life of a young girl named Heidi, full of life and energy, who is forced to navigate a series of changes while trying to hold on to the things that matter most to her home, her family, and her friends. Growing up in a quaint village surrounded by the towering Swiss Alps, Heidi's life takes a sudden turn after the loss of her parents. She is sent to live with her grandfather, a solitary and gruff man named Almunkel, who resides in a remote cabin high in the mountains, far removed from the rest of the villagers. At first, the relationship between Heidi and her grandfather is strained. Almunkel has earned a reputation for being reclusive and unfriendly, keeping to himself and preferring the solitude of the mountains. Despite his cold demeanor, Heidi is undeterred. With her natural enthusiasm, innocence, and kind heart, she quickly begins to break down the walls he has built around himself. Although the villagers view him with suspicion and wariness, Heidi sees beyond his rough exterior and slowly but surely wins him over. Life in the mountains proves to be a magical experience for Heidi. She spends her days herding goats with a local boy named Peter, forging a deep friendship that adds joy and adventure to her life. The freedom of the open fields, the clear mountain air, and the simple yet fulfilling lifestyle bring her immense happiness. Each day is filled with exploration and play, with the beauty of the natural world becoming an integral part of her daily routine. Her bond with the animals, the mountain landscape, and her grandfather grows stronger, and her carefree spirit becomes the light in Almunkel's otherwise lonely life. But as idyllic as life in the mountains may be, it is not destined to last forever. One day, Heidi's peaceful existence is disrupted when she is sent away to live in a bustling city. The transition is abrupt and difficult for her to accept. In the city, she is placed under the care of a wealthy family and becomes a companion to a young girl named Clara, who is physically frail and confined to a wheelchair. The wealthy family's grand home is starkly different from the humble, natural beauty of the mountains, and the structured life Heidi is expected to lead in the city leaves her feeling trapped. The city is loud, crowded, and full of strict routines that stifle Heidi's free spirit. While her new home is filled with luxuries, Heidi finds little comfort in these material possessions. She misses the open skies, the fresh air, and the simple pleasures of her former life. Despite the kindness of the family and the efforts to make her feel at home, Heidi's heart remains tied to the mountains. The rigid lifestyle of the city contrasts sharply with the carefree and joyous life she had known in the Alps. However, in this new environment, Heidi's compassionate nature leads her to form a bond with Clara. Though surrounded by wealth, Clara lives a life of restriction due to her fragile health. Isolated from the outside world, she has grown lonely and longs for companionship, adventure, and the freedom to explore. Heidi's lively spirit and love for nature soon inspire Clara to see beyond the limitations of her physical condition. Their friendship brings newfound joy into both their lives, with Heidi's optimism and energy becoming a source of hope and inspiration for Clara. As the days pass, the two girls develop a strong bond, sharing stories, dreams, and a mutual desire for freedom. Heidi tells tales of her life in the mountains, captivating Clara with vivid descriptions of the beauty and tranquility of her former home. These stories spark a longing in Clara to experience the world beyond her luxurious but confining surroundings. As they spend time together, Clara begins to regain her spirit, and their friendship blossoms. But despite the growing friendship and the attempts to adjust to life in the city, Heidi cannot shake the longing she feels for her mountain home. The memories of the open fields, the peaceful solitude, and the warmth of Almunkel's love pull at her heart. She dreams of returning to the Alps, where she can once again experience the freedom and joy that the mountains brought her. The city, with all its comforts and conveniences, feels like a prison compared to the boundless landscape of her former life. She misses the simple pleasures of running through the meadows, tending to the goats, and spending time with Almunkel. Eventually, Heidi's longing to return becomes too great to ignore. She is finally allowed to go back to the mountains. where she is joyfully reunited with Almunkel. The reunion is filled with emotion, as both Heidi and her grandfather have missed each other deeply. The bond they share is now stronger than ever, and Heidi is once again free to live the life she loves in the peaceful beauty of the Alps. Her return to the mountains restores her happiness, and she is able to reconnect with the world that has always been her true home. But the story doesn't end with Heidi's return. Clara, who has been inspired by Heidi's stories of the mountains, eventually comes to visit her in her alpine home. The fresh mountain air, the open fields, and the breathtaking beauty of the natural surroundings have a transformative effect on Clara's health. Slowly, she begins to regain her strength and finds herself able to experience a level of freedom and joy she had never known before. The mountains, with their healing power and tranquil atmosphere, offer a kind of magic that helps Clara recover, not just physically, but emotionally as well. The two girls, now reunited in the place they both love, spend their days exploring the mountains, playing with the goats, and enjoying the freedom that only nature can provide. Heidi's influence on Clara is profound, as Clara learns to embrace life with the same zest and enthusiasm that Heidi has always shown. Together they experience the simple joys of mountain life, far removed from the rigid structure and pressures of the city. The beauty of their surroundings heals not only their bodies, but their spirits, as they learn to appreciate the power of nature and the value of true friendship. At its heart, the story is a testament to the power of home, love, and friendship. It reminds us that true happiness doesn't come from wealth or material possessions, but from the relationships we build with the people and places we care about most. Heidi's journey from the mountains to the city and back again teaches us that, no matter where life takes us, our hearts will always lead us back to the places where we truly belong. Her friendship with Clara serves as a powerful reminder that love and kindness can transcend physical limitations, and that the human spirit is capable of incredible resilience in the face of adversity. In the end, Heidi's story is one of perseverance, hope, and the power of home. Her journey to find her place in the world is a reflection of the struggles we all face in trying to balance our desires for freedom, love, and security. The mountains may be far away, but the spirit of home, family, and friendship will always remain close to our hearts. Through the beauty of nature and the strength of her relationships, Heidi shows us that happiness can be found in the simplest of things, and that sometimes the greatest adventures come not from exploring new places, but from returning to the places we hold dear.